Welcome. This video is on multiplying fractions. We're going to start with whole numbers. So if we took the numbers 3, the factors 3 times 6 equals 18, how would we draw that how would we model that with a rectangle? So I'm going to create a rectangle. And let me switch over to a pencil. And let's see if I can grab the right color. Okay, so the length of the top is 3 units long. And the length of the side is 6 units long. All right, let me switch colors. So that means this whole side here, the whole length is 3. And I'm going to divide it into 3 equal parts. It's 1. With 2 lines, I have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. This side, the length is 6. So I'm going to divide that into 6 equal parts. Let's see if I can do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, it's not completely equal, but we have 6 rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And every single one of these smaller squares are representing the 6 times 3. So let's take the 3 and I'm going to shade in. Let me switch to color blue. And I'm going to shade in the 3 units. So this is 1 unit. This is 2. And this was the 3 for the top for this side. Now I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to go to orange here. And I'm going to shade in the 6 sections here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Every single one of these smaller squares is shaded in by both the blue and the orange. And if we count all those parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And this is what our area is, 18 square units. So we had 3 units times 6 units equals 18 units. Okay, that's with whole numbers. Now let's take a look at fractions. 1/3 times 3/4. We're going to model this on a rectangle. Let's look back at this fraction, 1/3. So the 3 is telling us the units of one side. I'm going to write down I'm going to write down 3. But it's also telling us that we only want to shade in one section of it. So although this is 3 units long, we want to divide it into 3 equal parts. All right, so let me switch to black. I don't think that's going to come out equal. All right, I did my best. So we have, this is 1 of 3 equal parts. 1/3 and 1/3. So each one of these columns, that's 1/3 That represents 1/3, and that is 1/3. Now let's look at 3/4. The 4 tells us that this unit, the length of this unit is 4, but we only want to shade in 3. So let me switch to black, and let me divide this into 4 equal parts. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we have the length here, which is 1/4. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So each one of these rows is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4 of this length here. All right, so I'm going to switch to purple. Let's use that. And let's look at 1/3. So I have 3 units, but I only want to shade in 1. So this is where my 1/3 column is, so I'm only going to shade in 1. Okay, so there I have represented 1/3 in purple. Let me switch to the blue. And let's look at 3/4. So I have 4 units as the length here. But I only want to shade in 3. So let's shade in 1, 2, and 3 for 1/3, 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Now I'm going to take the orange, and I'm going to outline the smaller squares that have both colors in them. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 equal. I have 3 smaller squares that are shaded in with both colors. So that tells me, oops, let me switch over. Then I have 3 in both colors. I'm going to count how many smaller squares I have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to write 12. So 1/3 times 3/4 equals 3/12. Now let's look at this. 1/3, let me switch, 1/3 was represented here. And 3/4 was represented here. And the shaded part, 1/3 is greater than the shaded part. And 3/4 is greater than the shaded parts. So when we multiply fractions, the product is smaller. But when we multiply whole numbers, the product is greater. Now let's look at the numerators. 1 times 3 equals 3. 3 times 4 equals 12. So the algorithm when you multiply fractions is to multiply the numerators across and the denominators across. I'd like you to multiply these fractions and also model it with a rectangle. Pause the video and work on it. The model was divided into 3 equal columns and 4 equal rows. And we go back to 2 times 2/3 times 3/4 and multiply across, which would be 2 times 3 equals 6. And 3 times 4 equals 12. Pause this video as you draw a model and find the product. 1/2 of 2/4 or 1/2 times 2/4 equals 2/8. And 3/5 times 2/3 or 3/5 of 2/3 equals 6/15. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful.